They're going to talk to me.
Claro, platícame
Thank
muy
you
bien.
so much. I want to know what you think about this speech. How was it for you?
The speech was good. I believe he started out by asking for unity. He ended up the speech by talking again about unity across the aisle, everybody working together for the American people, the American public. It was good that he reminded us of the last 2 years, the successes, the CHIP Act, to bring back manufacturing to America so that Americans can again manufacture the best chips in the world. And chips are key because a car, like the president said, has 3,000 chips. A toaster has chips. Everything we do needs a chip. So it's good to bring it back. Infrastructure, okay, building up America again to be the greatest country as we are. And what I really thought he really hit a good chord was talking about success, the progress in America, the jobs. We want to make sure everybody in America is part of that growth, that we share in the good job creations. All Americans benefit.
And how successful do you think he will be to implement everything else that he was asking for with the Congress now divided?
Well, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. I think he's a good leader. I think he did a great job the last 2 years. Record number of positive legislation being signed into law. He has a vision for the next 2 years. The problem is, it's an election year, and the campaign for the next presidency has already started. So as much as we want to be positive and say we're going to get things done, we know that we're going to have that debate. But I do hope, and I'm positive, that a lot of Republicans, my colleagues, will work with us for the benefit of all of Americans.
And what will be your priority? I saw that you brought your guest. Maybe we can.
Yes, I have a
can-
dreamer with me today.
You have a dreamer with you today.
Tengo una
Hello.
dreamer, eh?
Yes.
This dreamer, one of my big priorities is immigration reform. Not for immigrants, but for America. Clearly, give you an example. Of all the farm workers, probably 50% are undocumented. If you get rid of farm workers, we're going to starve. So let's give them a pathway to citizenship. But farm workers, dreamers, this is a dreamer. This lady came to us when she was 3 years old from Mexico, has been here all her life, obeys the laws, studies, works, pays taxes. This is the ideal kind of immigrant you want. And I brought her as my guest to listen with her own ears the president's message on reforma, on dreamers. And this is why she's here, to remind the rest of us of what needs to be done.
And do you think they will be able to do it?
I'm very optimistic. He did mention a pathway to citizenship for citizens, for DACA recipients, I'm sorry. So I'm very optimistic on the possibility of that.
And what is your name?
Paulina Jimenez.
Paulina. Muchas gracias, Paulina. Muchas gracias.
Gracias a usted, a sus órdenes.
Oh, look at these two again, together. The three of us. Oh, let's do it again.
What, January 6th?
Just Danny, remember these two? He's my boss.
That's all I know. You know that.
We're gonna do it again. Okay. So let's put you guys together. So he was very happy about his speech today. He said it's gonna be tough to unite this Congress, but I want to hear now. What do you think?
It will be tough to unite this Congress, but as long as you have people like this in the Democrat Party, I think there's a willingness to work together, and we share very common goals. We're in a bipartisan prayer group. We work out in the morning. I actually do a lot of sweating. He does a lot of working out. But dear friend, and there's areas we can work on. Obviously,
Like which ones?
Well, I feel like buying American made. Now there's some issues there with organized labor and things like that, and when you mandate that you have to do that, and there's nobody who does it, and then you have environmental rules in place that are very cost prohibitive, and our competitors overseas don't have those rules and regulations. We need to free up this economy and get Americans back to work, and those are the kind of things I think we can work on.
I really think, though, there's other areas, for example, made in America, making sure that what we manufacture, most of those contents are American made. And I think both of us can agree that we have people that struggle in our communities. We have people that are unemployed, people that don't make enough money to survive. And we want to make sure those people also benefit from the economic benefits of this economic recovery. My friends and neighbors, want to make sure they can survive, feed their families, and provide for a good future for them.
But it's also election year, so there'll be a lot of fights.
Well, there's a lot of focus group stuff. We know that, and that's why he and I don't get too worked up over this stuff. We agree to disagree, and we're still gonna be friends.
He already told me about what he thought about the speech. What did you think?
I didn't think much of it. I really didn't. I'm not a tax and spend kind of person. That's my perspective from it. And I'm not saying that he is, but I'm saying
Now
that.
that I have
I'm
the
not- I'm
two,
not a tax and spend person
can I
either.
ask a question that is not
yes.
really related? We were together, the three of us, January 6th in the basement. You were two leaving the chamber. And the very similar thing happened in Brazil, like last month, in January 8th. And now our president Lula is coming to meet with President Biden on Friday. What do you think they could accomplish together when it comes to protect democracy?
My
Where do you
opinion.
think after January 6th where we are?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, first of all, I think anytime we can open up free trade between two like-minded countries, I think is a great thing, because there's things that we can do and they can do. For instance, Brazil, you all have a huge, I believe you have a very large banana crop. I've been doing some research that we have fiber-producing companies in this country, and after you produce one crop of bananas, you have to chop them down. You either burn them or compost them. It's more economical probably to burn them, but environmentally it's not. They contain fiber that women would use in hair extensions, in health care, in clothing. It's a substitute for silk, and we could manufacture that in America, and that would provide the farmers in Brazil with another source of income.
I want to see jobs created in Brazil to stabilize the Brazilian economy, to stabilize other local economies in the Americas, to make sure that we address the issue of refugees, okay? I don't think Brazilian refugees, other refugees in the continent, want to leave their home. They do it because they have to. And as long as we can work with Brazil and other nations in this continent to stabilize those economies, then we all win.
And I was told a statistic. I believe it was around $7,000 to $8,000 a year. If somebody can make that in Brazil, they will stay in Brazil and they will grow their economy there.
Better than me.
Well, I was told that by.
That's right. We're both working together on this stuff, and this young man and
If you
I,
ever have a
Tim and I,
message, let me know.
we're going to go to Latin America together. We're going to see for ourselves
Talk to
what
me
we
before
can do.
you go. We
I
can
need
do
a
an interview.
translator because you know I don't speak it.
Thank you so much.
I don't
Thank
speak
you.
Brazilian
Thank
either.
you.
That's
Good
what
night.
you get.
Thank you very much.
Okay, wow. All right.
Thank you.
All right, Mike.
Gracias. Bye. Agora eu tenho que gravar esse negócio, né, meu?